Hello everyone, I am Jason. A couple days ago, I made a video to explain the mechanics of swing acceleration and how to choose a golf club. Some days later, a golfer said in the comments, "Did I realize that during the swing, the hands need to decelerate?" This is a very good question. I thank this golfer for bringing it up. Today, I want to talk about the mechanics of the golf swing. Making this topic clear may be very beneficial for our future practice. When we practice this drill, I want to recommend a tool to everyone. A shaft with a grip. If you do not have this kind of shaft, any regular club will also works. You just have to hold it in reverse. So what is a swing actually? When we do not rotate the body, the swing is this motion. Very natural, right? In this process, you can see that the club head is on the outermost circle. The hands are in the middle circle, and the body is the rotating axis. This sequence of 3 cannot change. If the hands go wrong, it becomes like this. The club head cannot release. If the wrist action is too early, this is the so-called scooping motion. So when golfers hold this club very relaxed, everyone should be able to find this motion. The golf swing is a very natural movement. It's unnatural because after we watch pros, we want to imitate it. And that causes many mistakes. Now let's talk about pivot points. There are a few parts. The feet, the hips, and the shoulders. Many beginners don't realize that many players use their feet as the axis for rotation. This leads to many mistakes. When we set up, during the backswing, if we use the foot as the axis, we rotate like this. In reality, we are not rotating, but changing our spine angle. And after the backswing, during the downswing, more than 80% of beginners have a subconscious habit of rotating with the left foot as the axis. In that case, our cerebellum tells the body to move the weight point of the club to the front. So naturally, we have the tendency to bring our hands outward. No matter how consciously we practice, we cannot change this motion because it is controlled by the body. That's why when we practice golf, it's best to have a coach watching beside us or have a mirror. We need to see those mistakes controlled by our body. Our conscious brain cannot perceive on its own. So if we use the left foot as the axis, many problems occur. We just said, if we use the foot as axis, many backswing and downswing mistakes arise. So when learning golf, the first thing to do is to make our hips as the axis of body rotation. When we use the hips as the axis to rotate, you can see in the backswing, the motion naturally becomes this. Then during the downswing, it shifts to the left hip. This motion looks easy, but to be able to do it naturally is one of the hardest things to learn in golf. In many videos, when discussing professionals, they say pros have their hip opened a lot. So many golfers want to train themselves to do the same. Actually, if you truly understand the swing mechanics and know what you're doing, this motion becomes a very natural movement. It is a result, not a goal for practice. So how to achieve this motion? Let's talk about it later after we make a complete swing first. Then you'll understand how it reaches at this position. Okay. What we did earlier was with no body rotation to swing like this. Now let's add body rotation. Imagine what we are doing. Normally, a very simple motion we do is using the hand to swing like this. I think everyone can do this. It's a very simple action. Now with the right hand holding the club, turn the club into an extension of the hand, and still do this motion. when everyone practices this motion. Without the left hand, you'll feel the swing plane is very good. The key is, when it gets here, don't just swing the hand, but rotate the body together. It must be natural and smooth. Stop. Did you notice or not? My hip is just like what I just mentioned. The hardest movement to practice and most movement desired by many amateurs. Did you see it? I didn't deliberately do anything. I just wanted to swing, and it naturally got to that position. So this is the natural result we want from the swing. Not a deliberate move we have to isolate and practice. No, it is simply a result. Alright, now you see, I've completed the swing. Then, my hip, as I said earlier, has opened. Now I'll show you something. If I lock my body in this position and move only the shoulders, I can still swing, right? And in the process, you can see, when my hand is at this position, it is bent. After the swing, it's straight. You see I'm rotating the shoulder. The motion of my hand is this action, plus shoulder rotation. It naturally becomes this motion. There isn't a wrist turning motion. There's no such movement. If we rotate the wrist, the shoulders won't rotate. So this is just a straightening motion. If our hands straighten too soon. Like I said in one of my videos on how to increase club head speed, the hands should have this motion. But if it's too early, you can see, this is a scooping. If we don't have this motion, but unrotate our shoulder, this is called no release. So in some videos, they say our hands should look like this at impact. The next action is this. Then there's no problem. But if the next move of their students is this, the clubhead can't get speed. So, at this point, the hands must release. You must not hold it and not release. If it's too late, you can't hit the ball properly. If too early, you scoop. So timing is very important. Now, why do I lock the hip and move the shoulder? I want to show everyone. Actually, our swing hasn't sequence. Hips, shoulders, hands. It's a chain. Each link finishes and passes to the next. So in the backswing, after it's done, the first move is shifting weight to the left leg. Rotate to here. Its purpose is to move the spine to a proper angle. Then, it stops. The second stage is rotating the shoulders. Actually, our golf swing is done at this angle. If my hip doesn't rotate, see, we swing like this. Understanding this is very important. In the future, we will talk about the impact plane. You'll see, our strike is done this way. There is no wrist flipping. Then bring it back. This is shoulder. After the shoulder reaches here, there's a natural throwing motion. So this transfer the power to the hands, finally sending the whole chain's power to the clubhead. Among these movements, the hip turn is a natural weight shift. The release action of the hands is merely relaxation. If there are too many active movements here, it will interfere with the rotation of the shoulders. Relatively speaking, only turning the shoulders is an active movement. So, if it is only at this point, just turning the shoulders, everyone will feel there is not much power. If we add the action of the legs pushing against the ground, what would it be? Then we can make the full swing. When we practice, find this feeling for yourself. This is not something that needs to be practiced. As long as you want to swing like this, naturally, there will be an action of pushing against the ground with the feet. Only then can the shoulders be fully turned. This is why many professional players say, when generating power, you need to push against the ground. Use pushing against the ground to drive the shoulder rotation. So you see, Lexi Thompson, she rotates like this. Many professional players all jump up like this. They use this power to rotate the shoulders. Now then, speaking of the hip action, let me talk a bit more. Because we say, if it's done naturally, no one will make any mistakes. But some people say, when we are in the downswing, our hips need to bump out. There should be this movement. If we practice like this, our hips will naturally come to this position. But if we directly go and bump like this, that's incorrect. Because it's not a rotation but a lateral shift. In that case, the spine of our body will tilt to the right, and the ball striking will be fat. So the action of thrusting the hips should not be a deliberate movement, turning the body and rotating like this, a naturally produced movement. Speaking of this, let's talk about an incorrect hip movement. This movement is actually using the feet as an axis to rotate the hips. This is a mistake that many amateur players easily make. When we are about to hit the ball, at this point, some people rotate like this. In fact, many people say, I am rotating with the hips as the axis, but in fact, we are using the feet as the axis and further rotating the hips. It should be pressing against this point. Only that is correct. That is rotating centered on the hips. Such hips are very stable. What we just saw is actually using the heels as the center, then rotating the hips. Of course, if golfers find this movement through the practice, naturally, they won't make such mistakes, because no one will swing like that. It will definitely be this way of swinging. So I hope each of you can find a shaft like this and practice this movement regularly. One benefit of this movement is that you don't need to worry about the swing plane. It definitely will follow the correct downswing plane to swing. There won't be a swing like this or like that, because this is a very natural movement. I hope this drill and explanation can help everyone understand what the mechanics of the swing really is, and help you grasp this feeling as quickly as possible. Avoid various common errors in swinging. Thank you.